Hi, I'm Natalie, one of the nurses at Cat Specialist Services, and today I'm going to show you how to do an O-tube feed with your cat. So when you get home, we would have dispensed you some food, as well as a feeding plan for while your cat's at home and has an O-tube in place. So in order to feed them, you'll want some normal tap water. You'll also want this food mixed up, which we will give you the directions to do, and a couple of syringes of varying sizes. So the first thing you want to do before you O-tube feed your cat is you want to check, do as many checks as possible to make sure it's in the right place. So the first check that we do is we want to check for negative pressure, and what that means is the syringe comes back as opposed to bringing a lot of air out. So I tend to use a 5 ml syringe for this, and what you do is untwist the cap of your O-tube, attach the syringe, and then draw back. As you can see, the syringe is coming back, which means it has negative pressure. This is what you want. If you're finding you're drawing back the syringe and you're not getting that negative pressure, then cap it back and give us a call. It just might mean we want to double check that the tube's in the correct place. From there, our other check is to flush some water. So you want to monitor for any signs of coughing or gagging as you do this. If that does happen, give us a call and we'll direct you with what to do. So for this one, normal tap water, I've got another 5 ml syringe, and you just draw up 3 to 5 mils. So with this guy, I've got 3 mils, and you just undo that little O-tube holder, and then you just clamp the side of it, silicone, so it will clamp easily, and then that's just to stop any additional air coming out or in, and then you just flush the water slowly, again monitoring for those signs. So you can sort of do this over 30 seconds to a minute. Your cat may swallow, which is okay. We just don't want any coughing or gagging. Obviously, if any coughing or gagging happens, just stop what you're doing and give us a call. Just clamp that tube off by the side again to prevent any air, and just put the cap back on. Now from there we go to a tube feed. So this guy right here is due for 14 mils of food, but it will be dependent on your cat. So what you do is with this food, it should be at room temperature, and you just draw it up into your syringe. I would suggest not heating this up in the microwave. If you do need to heat it up to body temperature, then I would suggest placing it into a warm water bath until it's at the desired temperature. So from there, you just clamp off that tube again, undo the cap, and place your feeding syringe on. So you want to give the feed over 10 to 15 minutes. If your cat starts hypersalivating or seems really nauseous, I would suggest either slowing down or stopping for a little bit, giving them a break, and then continuing the feed. If you also have a cat that's come home with some medications, you can also give it via this tube in between the feeds. And there'll be another video on that one with how to give medications via the O-tube. If it's easier, you can have your cat in your lap while you do this tube feed. It tends to be quite comfortable for them. They may fall asleep, but however is comfortable for you and your cat. Sometimes they may move around, which is okay, but you just want to pretty much follow them with the tube and the syringe. And so we're just finishing off the tube feeding now. So once you have finished, you just clamp off that tube again, take your syringe off, and just draw up another 5 mils of water. This is to just flush the tube, to get rid of any sort of food particles down it. So you just again do that quite slowly over 30 seconds to a minute. Okay, and from there, we just clamp this tube off again, take off the syringe and put the feeding tube cap back on. From there, you just loop the feeding tube under this Velcro piece, and your cat is all fed for the next period of time until the next feed is due. If you have any questions regarding feeding or you are concerned, just feel free to give us a call at Cat Specialist Services and we'll be able to guide you with what to do next.